Hello everyone and welcome to another channel on the video. Today's video is going to be a little pickups slash haul delivery, whatever you want to call it, video. This will be in place of my weekly watches this week. I'm not doing weekly watches this week because there were too many before, and I sort of halfway through the week decided I would just scrap this week's weekly watches and pick up afresh from next weekend because I was away, so lots of things, So yeah, there's a mixture of some DVDs I've ordered, a couple of 4Ks, some Blu-ray pre-orders, some Blu-ray charity shop pickups, Blu-ray eBay orders, DVD charity shop pickups. There's quite a multitude of things to show. I'll start with the DVD pickups. So these are the ones that I've sort of deliberately ordered online. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was more, but I don't know where they've gone. First one is a film with Al Pacino, who I'm trying to get quite a few of his films now. I think I might try and watch this one later, so by the time this video is up, I probably have seen this by now. It's called Simone. Like I said, Al Pacino. It's like AI, I think, before AI, obviously. I think he's like a famous director who is kind of on the way down, and he finds this new it girl, as you can see on the front, but it turns out that she is actually AI. Nobody's ever actually seen her in real life. He's created her in this sort of closed off studio, but nobody knows, so he's got to try and go around because she becomes the big thing in Hollywood. So yeah, I mean, it looked good. The trailer looked good. I like Pacino, so like I said, it sounds like my type of film, so I think I might give that one a watch later. Another Pacino film next, about the same, no, not about the same time, about 10 years later, I suppose. This one, 2014, I want to say, this one, and it's actually a Barry Levinson film. I've been going through quite a few of Barry Levinson's films recently. Different title in the US, but in the UK it's called The Last Act. In the US, I believe it's called The Humbling. It stars Pacino, Greta Gerwig, and Diane Wiest. I think he just plays like an Asian actor in this who basically struggles to separate his working life with his real life, and he ends up starting this friendship with Greta Gerwig's character. I think that's the basic plot of the film. Kyra Sedgwick in there as well. Yeah, looks like it could be quite a good watch. So that is The Last Act. Then we have a film with Alicia Silverstone and Benicio del Toro called Excess Baggage from the late 90s, 97, I believe. Just a comedy. Someone had recommended it to me at some point or talked about it on a video because it was on my Letterboxd watch list. And I sort of am now going from that list when choosing what I'm picking up, and not buying as many just random stuff. Obviously, if I'm going charity shop hunting, if I see something I like the look of, I will just pick it up like I have done. But yeah, I'm not too sure on this one. You've got Christopher Walken in here as well. Sounds and looks like maybe it's a bit of like a road cat and mouse type comedy. But yeah, if you've seen this one and you can give me any more information on it, yeah, please do. That is Excess Baggage. Another Barry Levinson film next. This one's still sealed and a newer film. I think this actually came out the year after The Last Act. This is from 2015, and that is Rock the Casbah. Great cast: Bill Murray, Kate Hudson, Zooey Deschanel, Bruce Willis, as you can see, Danny McBride, and I think he's like a has-been sort of rock manager. Ends up going to Kabul for some reasons. I think it's to get one of his clients back or something, and obviously he gets involved with a war going on there. Looks like, is it Scott Caan in there as well? Yeah. I think Bruce Willis plays sort of like a trigger happy mercenary that he meets along his way, yeah, Barry Levinson generally does decent films, and it's got a good cast, so I thought for a couple of quid, pick it up and give it a go. And the last DVD order that I got was a De Niro film. I know my good friend Carlos, Eastwood for Life fan, has been going through De Niro films because he's going to be doing a top 10 De Niro films with my other good friend Andy of A Forgotten World of Movies, so look out for that at some point in the future. So I think he's been watching a lot of De Niro's films so we can sort of solidify his top 10 list. But it just made me think, I've not really ever had a massive appreciation for De Niro, but I like him as an actor, so I was looking at his sort of back catalogue, some of his older films, and I've decided to pick some up. And this is one from the 90s. I think Carlos has seen this, and he said it was alright. It's a film called Stanley and Iris, in which he co-stars with Jane Fonda. Like Jane Fonda as well. I think this was the last film she did before she went on a break. She went on a break for like 15 years or something, didn't do anything. And I think this was the last film she did before that break. It says it's from the creators of Norma Ray, which is another film that I would love to see. Music by John Williams. And yeah, I just think it's a different type of love story by the looks of things. But if you've seen that one, let me know your thoughts down below. Then we'll go on to charity shop DVD pickups. Now, I did show these all off in last week's live stream. But if you obviously didn't watch that, then you won't know what I'm about to show you. But I got quite a few good ones at good prices, so I was very happy with what I came away with. Starting off with a Robert Redford film with Morgan Freeman as well, called An Unfinished Life. This one is directed by Lasse Hallström, who also did The Cider House Rules and Chocolat, which just really, I don't know if feel good is the word for it, but they just make you, they put you in a certain mood. They're just good films to watch. And then he's done this one as well. Don't know too much about it, but I love Robert Redford. I did my top 10 with Andy on Robert Redford, and this is one that I just haven't seen yet, so definitely was a guaranteed pickup for me. This one I got because it just sounds really weird. Wouldn't put this cast together normally, especially with sort of what I think the film's about. You've got Billy Connolly, Sharon Stone and Ian Holm in a film called Beautiful Joe from the late 90s, I want to say. No, 2002 apparently. He plays a florist in this. Billy Connolly gets wrapped up with this sort of ex-stripper who is now a con girl. She is in debt to this big mobster played by Ian Holm called George the Geek. Yeah, weird. And I think it's like a sort of a road film. They go to Vegas, I think, and they've obviously got this big crime mob boss henchman in pursuit of them. So yeah, it's a comedy. Don't know if it's going to be any good, but for what I paid for it, I think I paid 50p or a pound. Yeah, I thought I'd pick that up and give it a go. Another one, my good friend Alan over at Physical Media Lives actually mentioned this in his 6 movie recommendations video he did recently. It's one that has been recommended to me quite a few times. I think Andy's recommended it to me before as well on one of the streams. And again, I saw it in a charity shop for £1, so I pick it up and I will give it a watch soon. And that is One Night at McCall's. Great cast: Liv Tyler, Matt Dillon, Michael Douglas, John Goodman, Paul Reiser. Really good cast in here. Again, don't know too much about it. I know it's like sort of a black comedy and she's sort of playing the lead, Liv Tyler, and she gets involved with all these different men. But outside of that, I don't really know too much about the story. So yeah, that's One Night at McCall's. We then have a film I'd never heard of before, but I got mainly because of the lead actor in this, because I enjoy most of the stuff he does. When I find something from the 90s, which is where he got his start, that I've not heard of, I thought, why not? And I think it's based on a true story, and it's got good soundtrack: Travis, Manic Street Preachers, Left Field, Reef, The Clash, and Finley K. It's called Rogue Trader. 50p I picked this up for. Also set in the 90s, about the stock market, I think, the money market, Far Eastern money market. Don't know too much else about it outside of that. But yeah, it's Ewan McGregor, Anna Friel. So yeah, I will give that one a go soon as well. This one I got mainly for Tom Selleck because it's a bit of a different film for him. After seeing In and Out, which is also a bit of a departure for him, this looks like it could be the similar sort of thing. Now, he is the only reason I really would have picked this up. because the rest of the cast really don't do anything for me. They wouldn't have sold the film for me, although it does sound quite interesting. It's a film called The Love Letter. As I said, Tom Selleck's in this, Kate Capshaw, Ellen DeGeneres, and Tom Everett Scott as well. Blythe Danner. I do like Blythe Danner. Geraldine McEwen, Julianne Nicholson, Gloria Stewart. So it has got a decent cast, but when you look at most of those lead names, none of them really grab you as, oh yeah, got to watch it because of them. But it sounds like it could be quite a nice sort of rom-com. So yeah, that's The Love Letter. We then have sort of a war drama from about, it's not that old, 2021, so not very old at all, 5 years ago. Eddie Izzard, Jim Broadbent, Judi Dench, the main names in here, they're all on the front. It's a film called 6 Minutes to Midnight, set in the summer of 1939, and basically it's based on a true-ish story, I suppose. As it says, based on incredible true events. Whether all of this happened, I don't know. But it's basically about basically just before the war, Nazi Germany basically sent all the young girls to finishing schools on the English coast. And this follows a new teacher at one of said finishing schools that starts there and starts to believe that not everything is as it seems. And it turns into a thriller, I think, from there. But yeah, doesn't have a Blu-ray release as far as I'm aware, and it's one that I remember coming out at the time, and because I mean mainly Judi Dench, because I love Judi Dench, and Jim Broadbent's great as well. I thought I wanted to watch it, so I was glad to find this in the charity shop when I did. So that's 6 Minutes to Midnight. We then have a film by Woody Allen, which I think Andy has mentioned before, possibly. I know he definitely has it and has seen it. So yeah, but I picked it up for, I think, again, it's about 50p, I think I got this for. It's a film called Anything Else, from the early noughties, as I said. I think written and directed by Woody Allen, and you've got Christina Ricci, Jason Biggs, Danny DeVito, Woody Allen, Stockard Channing. So decent cast. Another sort of rom-com, but done by Woody Allen, so you can kind of expect, you know what you're going to sort of get going into it, I think. So yeah, that's Anything Else. Now, I know this one's got a Blu-ray and a 4K. It's a fairly new film, but again, I saw this in the charity shop for 50p. I've not seen the film before, so I thought I'd just grab it and give it a watch, because if I like it, I can always upgrade it at some point. That's a film with Donnie Yen called Raging Fire from 2022. And it's sort of like a cop Hong Kong crime film, so in the vein of your like City on Fire, Hard Boiled, that sort of thing, classic Hong Kong cinema in that vein, I suppose. And I think Donnie Yen plays a detective going after these cop killers in this. So, yeah, sounds like it could be a decent watch there. That is Raging Fire. We then have a British film, which says the Feel Good Film of the Year. I've heard of it, never seen it before. It might be alright. I'm not really into sports, but it could be one of those good feel-good films. It's called The Bromley Boys. It stars Alan Davies, who's a British sort of, don't really want to say comedian. He had a really popular show going for years called Jonathan Creek. That's, to me, what he's most known for. He has done other stuff as well in the past. He did a sitcom about 10 years ago called Damned, where he played a social worker. That was quite funny. Only lasted 2 seasons though, but he's pops up in the things every now and then. Martine McCutcheon, who got famous from EastEnders and then obviously went on to Love Actually. Jamie Foreman, who was in all of the like sort of Danny Dyer gangster films in the noughties, and also in EastEnders at one point. And yeah, it's just about a really shit football club in England the year that England wins the World Cup, and this young lad basically takes on the team as their manager to try and get them to fame, that sort of thing. So yeah, could be quite good. We then have a film which I have seen quite a long time ago now, probably when it came out, which was going on 10 years now, so I can't remember too much about it, but fantastic cast, and another same actor that I mentioned previously, and he actually directs this film as well. And that is American Pastoral, starring and directed by Ewan McGregor. Also stars Jennifer Connelly and Dakota Fanning. It's set in the 60s. in America when sort of there was a lot of problems with politics and different people believing in different things, with like Nixon and JFK and all that going on. And they obviously, there was lots of political groups that would make a stand by doing big things like blowing up post boxes. They did that over here as well. And basically an actual post office is blown up in this film, and it's sort of alluded to that maybe their daughter, played by Dakota Fanning, has something to do with it. She goes missing, and it's left to sort of the parents to kind of bring everything back together when the police and all that come looking for them. David Strathairn's in this as well. Really great character actor he is. But yeah, it's been years since I've watched it, so it will be like a first time watch when I go back to this one, but I do remember it being a really good film. So that is American Pastoral. That one isn't. I've got to check, because some of these are mixed in, right? Then we have a HBO original film, which I've heard is very good. I paid a little bit more than the others from this charity shop. I paid $1.50 for this, but I've heard it's great, and I love all of these sorts of stories set around this famous historical person, many of which came out around the same time. This one's a bit earlier, and it is The Gathering Storm, about Churchill. In this, he is played by Albert Finney. You've got Vanessa Redgrave, who plays Clementine, his wife. This is sort of the years leading up to World War II, when obviously he ultimately became Prime Minister of England. And it's about sort of him rising up the ranks, I suppose, and his family and everything that goes on in his life. So it's set before, whereas films like Darkest Hour and Churchill, which both came out at the same time, they're sort of set literally during the war. This is set before, so it's a bit of a different take on Churchill's story. So it'd be interesting to see what this one is like. Derek Jacobi I can see on the back as well. Jim Broadbent again is in this one. Lena Headey, Tom Wilkinson, Ronnie Barker. Really good cast there. Then next up we have a romantic, I want to say more of a drama than comedy, from 2000, I think. Yeah, 2000. And it's called Here on Earth. It stars Chris Klein and Lily Sobieski. You got Josh Hartnett in there as well. I think he's like a goody boy. Has it all, has money, good looks, nice car, everything he could possibly want. One day he crashes his car, I think, and he's basically sentenced to community service over the summer. On the other side of the tracks, he meets a good girl played by Lily Sobieski, who already has a boyfriend, but they start falling for each other, that sort of thing, I think. So yeah, that's Here on Earth. 4 to go DVD wise. Another fairly new film. I think it came out last year, physically anyway it did. And yeah, again, got Blu-ray, but for $1.50 I thought I'd pick it up, give it a gander. And that's a film called William Tell, another historical sort of biopic, bit further back than Churchill though. Apparently, I found out on the live stream, didn't really know anything about William Tell, but he shot an apple off of a young boy's head. I think that's the story of William Tell. In the Austrian Empire invades neighbouring Switzerland, and he's a huntsman that is basically at the heart of the resistance. Yeah, Ben Kingsley, Jonathan Pryce. Might be a one-time watch, but who knows, could be good, could be one that I end up upgrading. Another one sort of around the same time, probably a bit before or a bit after. This is more of a medieval film, and it is called Pilgrimage. Tom Holland, John Bernthal, Richard Armitage. Got this with John Bernthal. Think he's fantastic, really underrated actor. We'll watch him in anything. So yeah, it's set in Ireland during the medieval time, and it's about a group of monks that basically have to get this ancient relic through the wilderness, but obviously things aren't quite as straightforward as that. So yeah, that one could be quite a good watch. Then 2 Arnie films. Sabotage, never seen this one, but yeah, it's got a stacked cast in there, and this was sort of one of the films Arnie first made when he did his comeback after he finished his term as governor. He plays the leader of a DA task force, I believe, and they start getting picked off, and he's got to sort of find out who's responsible for it and terminate them. Sorry, that was really bad. Sorry. It's directed by David Ayer, who he's a hit and miss director. Some things he does really hit, some things aren't as good. I mean, you think of the likes of, which I think came out the same year, Fury. I'm sure he directed that, didn't he? Which came out the same year as this, and that's a fantastic tank film. But then I'm struggling to think of other really great David Ayer films. So there you go. See what it's like. It's Arnie for 50p, I think. Give it a go. And the last DVD I got was The Sixth Day, which I'm sure I've seen many years ago. Can't remember anything about it. The Blu-ray goes for crazy money now. So I saw this and I thought I'd get it and give it another watch again. I could import a foreign release if I really like it, but I'm quite happy with the DVD for now, just to give it that rewatch. So yeah, that is The Sixth Day. Then moving on to Blu-rays, we have a couple of sort of, I think these are all the pre-orders. So yeah, three, I'm just checking, there's none of, yeah, 3 pre-orders, all new releases. One I've seen, 2 I haven't watched yet, missed them at the cinema. The one I have seen, which literally only came the other day, forgot I'd ordered this, but I'm glad I've got it now, is Shelter with Jason Statham. Love anything with Jason Statham in. He does the same sort of thing on all of his films, but he's reliable. He usually serves up a decent sort of action thriller. And yeah, this one was good. He's sort of a loner, lives on this island. This young girl somehow gets involved with his life. He has to go on the run with her. He's been in hiding for years, and this shady government organisation starts to go after him and this young girl. It was a fun film. Bill Nighy, who is sort of the villain in this, it's just, yeah, fun film. Daniel Mays, good British actor, pops up in a small role but helps him along his way. Yeah, if you like Jason Statham, this is a good one. He's got another one coming out in August called Mutiny, which is the same. From the trailer, it looks like he's playing the exact same character, but on a cargo ship. So we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, that is Shelter. And then the 2 I haven't seen yet are Giant, Pierce Brosnan, love Pierce Brosnan, about Prince Nazim Naz Hamed, a boxer in the, I want to say, 90s or noughties, about his sort of rise to fame. Although I'm not a big boxing fan, so I can't really say I've heard of him, but love a good inspirational true film. And I love Rocky, and this is actually executive produced by Stallone, I want to say. Yeah, he's an executive producer on it. So if he obviously liked what they were doing with this film, so he put his name on it. So might be quite good. And then the other one, which got very mixed reviews, but it looks like it'd be up my street, is this thing on Bradley Cooper film, Laura Dern, Will Arnett, loosely based on the life of British comedian John Bishop. And yeah, Kieran Hines in here. I think he plays Will Arnett's character's dad. And yeah, just about a stand-up comedian who is, his claim to fame is quite an unlikely story, shall we say. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that one out. And then I'll show you just random sort of buys. No, I won't. I'll show you the 2 charity shop ones next. So we got Hunt for the Wilder People, which is a Taika Waititi film starring Sam Neill and Julian Dennison in what is his breakthrough role, I would consider. And if you know Taika Waititi, you know the sort of film you get him with this. It's very much his style of comedy, visually, just the script, the dialogue, all of that is very Taika Waititi-esque. You got Rhys Darby in this, who is fantastic when he pops up in anything he's in. And yeah, I watched this the other night, had a blast with it. About a young boy who not had the best start to his life, been moved around quite a lot from home to home, and he ends up in the care of Sam Neill's character and I think it's his wife. I don't think they ever actually say if they're married or not, or if they're together romantically. I don't really know. She took him in many years before Sam Neill's character. Something happens. They end up going on the run in the jungle. Not that's what they call it, the jungle. It's not really a jungle. It's the bush or whatever you want to call it. And everyone thinks that Sam Neill has basically kidnapped him, and lots of stuff starts going around in the news and stuff, and it's about their bond, their growing bond throughout the film. And yeah, it's a really nice, heartwarming, and very funny film. So yeah, that's Hunt for the Wilder People. And charity shop pickup, I did have the DVD of this, never got around to watching it. I have a feeling it was in one of those boxes I got last year, so didn't really pay much for it anyway in the first instance. And for 50p I picked it up because I love the lead actor, and that is Justice with Nick Cage, Guy Pearce and January Jones. Don't know too much about this. This looks like it was just before he started doing sort of direct to DVD. Not crap, because not all of them were crap, but when I think of sort of like the likes of Left Behind, which is honestly one of the worst films I've ever seen. I've actually got a review of it up on the channel. So bad, really bad. But this looks promising from the cover. Like, as I said, it's a Nick Cage film. I've not seen Guy Pearce in there as well. Action film. So yeah, I'll give it a go. I'll show you the two Arrow 4Ks I got from Vinted. There's a seller on Vinted. I use him quite a lot. He's a great Vinted seller, and that's what you want on Vinted. You want to have great relationships, communication with the people you're buying from, because the better the relationship, the more likely that you're going to get better deals. Like, I'm the same, I sell things on Vinted. If people come back, I'm more than happy to do deals with them. It's quite simple because I appreciate their business. And he was selling both of these. One literally had just come out the day before, and I said, will you do, I think he said £18 or £17 for it. He said, yeah, sure, because it's just a 4K. He'd already watched it, so it wasn't sealed still, so he said, yeah, I'd do it for that. And that one is Soldier with Kurt Russell. Like I said, only just come out last week before. Haven't seen it yet, but I'm on a bit of a Kurt Russell kick at the moment, so I will be going to this one fairly soon. So yeah, that's Soldier. And then the other one was actually still sealed. He had this one still sealed, and this one I think came out last year. And he did this for me for £17, which I couldn't complain with. Was very happy with that price. And that is Stallone in Cobra, which I have watched the other night. Fun, cop, dirty, grimy sort of cop thriller about a serial killer going around brutally killing these women. Well, not just women, just random people. And Stallone plays Marion Cobretti, who doesn't really play by the rules, likes to do things his own way, and is going after this crazy serial killer after Bridget Nielsen's character, who witnesses the murder, who has seen one of these killers, or the killer, shall I say, in person, and she's the only one that can identify him, so he has to protect her whilst also finding out who they are and stopping them. Fun 80s film, that one. Then we have this one, which is a comedy that I don't want to say, well, yeah, I suppose I did grow up with it. It's one of the first 15 rated films that I've seen, and it's just, I haven't seen it for years. I had it on DVD, don't know where the DVD went. Because I haven't seen it in years, I thought, you know what, for a couple of quid on eBay, I'll pick it up and I'll give it a watch again, because I used to watch it a lot when I was younger. And that is Year One with Jack Black, Michael Cera. It's directed by Harold Ramis, which was the last film he did. And yeah, it may not be the best film, but like I said, it's one that I've got fond memories of watching when I was younger. I remember really liking it, about these two sort of idiots who, they're like cavemen, and they go on this big journey, and it goes quite wrong. And yeah, it's a fun film from what I remember. You got David Cross. I remember him being really funny in this. He is on the back. You can just make him out on the end there. There you go. But yeah, I remember really enjoying it, so I'm glad to have picked that one up, and I'll give that one another watch fairly soon. Obviously everyone has just, well, not everyone, but a lot of people have just obviously watched the Michael Jackson biopic. I watched it, thoroughly enjoyed it. So I thought, I haven't got this, and I used to have it. And this is another film that I remember watching on repeat when it came out, like a lot. I had the DVD, don't know where it went, and it had a Blu-ray release for a couple of quid. I thought, yeah, I'd love to give that a watch again because it's been years. And that is Michael Jackson's "This Is It," which is sort of a documentary, behind the scenes type of thing about the lead up to what would have been one of his biggest concerts tours he ever did, titled "This Is It." Obviously, unfortunately, he never got to perform. He passed away before the tour would have started, the concert or whatever. And this was all the leading up to it, the preparation and all that. So yeah, gonna be looking forward to checking this one out again. That's "This Is It." And then some more sort of De Niro and Pacino films that I have been picking up. Most of these, I think all of these only just came in yesterday. I've seen 2 of them already though last night and enjoyed both. First one, Pacino, this one, The Son of No One. The lead in this is Channing Tatum though. Pacino is on the front cover though. Ray Liotta, Tracy Morgan, Juliette Binoche, Casey Holmes. It's a cop thriller, sort of set in the early noughties. It goes backwards and forwards to like sort of the mid-80s to the early noughties, as the story sort of intertwines, as it were. And it's basically about Channing Tatum's character, who is sort of a rookie cop, who a secret comes out that may be linked to his past, and he's got to sort of try and deal with it. There's this journalist that wants to sort of publish everything. Al Pacino sort of was his dad's partner in the force, so he sort of has always looked out for him. And yeah, it is a good cop thriller. I don't want to give too much away because I think if you give too much away, it will spoil it. But I really enjoyed it. That's The Son of No One. And then we'll switch it up. We'll go for De Niro next. Really, really like this one a lot more than I thought I would. Really creepy film. Red Lights. Now, De Niro isn't really a main, he's more of a supporting. I'd say the lead in this film is Cillian Murphy. And then I'd say Sigourney Weaver. She's got a decent part in it, as has De Niro, like I said. It follows Sigourney Weaver and Cillian Murphy's characters, who are like world-renowned investigators of these paranormal hoaxes, things that aren't. They basically prove that these paranormal events they have a logical explanation for them. They debunk them, shall we say. And Robert De Niro is a famed psychic who went away 30 years ago because one of his biggest sort of like critics died at his show suddenly of a heart attack, so under suspicious circumstances, shall we say. So he went away and he's just coming back, and obviously they're all linking together. And yeah, it's I don't want to give away too much more than that, but it's definitely worth the watch. That is Red Lights. Then we'll go for another Pacino film. Shall we? Yeah, we'll go Pacino and then 2 De Niro. This one looks like a really good film. I watched the trailer for this. It just looks like a enjoyable film. Again, 2014, so the same as that other one I mentioned with him in. It's called Manglehorn, and he's the lead in this. Holly Hunter's in this as well. Chris Messina, and it's directed by David Gordon Green, who's good at these sorts of films, I think. And yeah, like I said, I don't know too much about it, but the trailer got me. It looks like a little indie drama, Sam. Yes, it does look like an indie drama. In fact, it does. It says it will be a future American indie classic on the back. So there you have it, Manglehorn. Then we have sort of an action film with De Niro and John Travolta called Killing Season. This one's still sealed, literally a couple of quid, so I thought, why not? Cat and mouse sort of action thriller in this. They're sort of John Travolta's hunting De Niro's character. He's, no pun intended, gone hunting for the weekend or something in the woods, and basically Travolta's this Bosnian veteran that has like sort of this crazed vendetta against De Niro's character and goes after him in the woods. So yeah, that could be quite fun. And then the last one I haven't watched it yet. Another Statham film. Again, De Niro, a remake of a film from the 70s, and that is Killer Elite. Jason Statham, Clive Owen, and Robert De Niro. Apparently it's based on a true story. It's a race across the globe, action-packed account of an ex-special ops agent who is lured out of retirement to rescue his mentor, played by De Niro. So that's just a bit of the plot. Yeah, not heard anything bad about this film, so I will give it a go soon. So that's everything. Sorry it went on a bit there, but had a lot to show. Let me know if you've seen any of those ones that I've showed off in the comment section below, and just your general thoughts if you have any. And yeah, the live stream will be on tomorrow. As of right now, it's just myself and Kenny, but there may be some more guests that pop up. Who knows? We will be finishing off talking about De Niro, because we were talking about him on the stream last week and his films, but we didn't quite get through all of them. So we'll probably start the stream off with that once we've done our recent watches, and just go from there. So if you're free, please join us at 7. Send us a comment or whatever, a question, and we will always answer them if we have the time, of course. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Turn your notification bell on so you know when I have a new video uploaded to the channel. Comment down below anything and everything. As you know, I always take the time to get back to anyone that leaves me a comment, because I really do appreciate it. And that is it. So until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.